It's actually from TF2. Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. I did not know how long this song goes, actually. Wow. Okay, hold on. Oh, it just... Oh! It just stops there, huh? Wait. What? Hello? I'm here to oh my god, the moment I started yapping. I'm just gonna talk about cheese. So I've been seeing a lot of Europeans throw shade at America about, oh, where will you get your fancy cheese from? Where would you Americans get your cheese from? And they fail to realize there's like a giant stockpile of cheese. I get it, it's not the best cheese. Hello! Okay, I'm gonna say my good mornings. Good morning, Ortic. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Venom Raven. Good morning, good morning. Or it's good evening for some of y'all. But yeah. They fail to realize there's like a giant cheese thing. Cheese storage in America. Why am I so big? Wait. Womp, womp, womp. There. Wait, why am I over there? Wait. There. Good morning, go home, you are drunk. No, it's morning for me. Well, it's almost the afternoon, I guess. Dude, the fanciest cheese comes from Russia? Why Russia? Nuh-uh. It's from Italy, France. What's the other? What are they called again? Netherlands? I guess the UK. I don't want to give them that much credit. I remember a cheesery following me before because, I don't know. I think they think I'm an actual customer from them, even though I just like and retweet their cheeses from back then. I'm not even from that country. Nothing good comes from France. Stop lying. Nuh-uh. Ratatouille's from there. Remy's from there. I think that's the only... Couture! I love couture. I love couture. I love fashion. I know it's... there, the redeems work. I know it's not obvious that I like fashion with how I dress, but I do like fashion. Okay, I'm gonna drink my coffee later. But yeah, I want to talk about the cheese. American cheese. Ah, not the cheeseburger. Wait, what? American cheese isn't cheese? Huh? Okay, I'm gonna... Ow! Where's my... Wait, where's my... Oh! Where did it go? Hold on. Cheese review? Yeah, it's a cheese review. Wait, hold on. There you go. Huh, that was weird. There we go. Oh, it fixed. Properties? No. Advanced audio properties? Okay, it's good. Oh, okay. Why does it say repo then? Oh, I forgot to change it. Oopsie doopsie. What's my stream name again? Getting into the Cheese-spiracy. Just chatting. I forgot. Oopsie. There we go. Did it update? Okay, cool. My bad. I'm like, barely awake today. And I don't know if people even care on Kick. That place is barren unless people want to avoid ads, I guess. There we go. There! Fixed it. Okay, where's the cheese video? Worst cheese reviewer? No, I hate that so much. What do you mean? What did he do? Bam! Cheese. You're playing Repo right now? I just said I just mentioned who even cares about Kick, and all of a sudden you show up. I'm not playing Repo right now. I want to talk about cheese. Now I'm watching this rat. Yeah. Cheese craft? No, I think people just call this American cheese in general.
Love it or hate it, American cheese melts better than any other cheese out there. Its secret? It isn't technically cheese. This is Minute Food. Okay, first, since I know we are all a bunch of pedants, cheese doesn't actually melt, at least not in the scientific sense. That requires going from a solid state to a liquid state, like when ice becomes water. But cheese never gets to a legit liquid state.
Thank you for the follow, Grey Space Mouse. Welcome. I saw your profile picture on Discord. It's very adorable.
That is American cheese's superpower.
Cheese is not a solid state.
Some cheeses melt better than others. You have
it's
to
solid
understand
though.
how and why cheese melts in the first place. Most cheeses begin with milk and microbes. The microbes feast on the milk sugars and churn out acids. Those acids do all sorts of stuff. But what matters most for us here is that they cause proteins
glass isn't a solid either, then what is it?
Unwound proteins then
it looks
tangle
solid
up with each
to me.
other and get bound together, both by forces between the proteins themselves and by
what about camembert?
like
delicious soft
glue.
camembert.
You end up with a solid network of proteins interspersed with fat and moisture.
Okay, we get it. I know what cheese is.
At least that's the goal. But sometimes you end up with something way less appetizing. Whether a cheese melts like a champ or a chump mostly has to do with whether its protein network is flexible enough to maintain its nicely dispersed mixture.
Is this really a cheese review? Because like I've seen all day, it's not a cheese review. I want to talk about the weird cheese history in America. Like like in World War II, there was like too much cheese apparently, or milk. So they started processing cheese and then they started giving away the cheese. And now people only remember it. Wait, cheese is bacteria vomit? Yes.
Rather than just falling apart. And
I think there's a similar process with milk and the type of milk Americans use with making chocolate. Is this the entire stream? Nuh-uh.
Depends
I
on
just
a few
stored it. Can I get pineapple now?
Generally, the more moisture and fat in a cheese, the looser the protein network is. Because with all those extra molecules in the way,
I know.
This is why high moisture and high fat cheeses like Howdy, young Gouda, and
wait, Gouda has high fat? I don't know. It's way too solid for me. Yes. I will be talking about American cheese all day. So America has a cheese vault? Yes. They do have a cheese vault.
Mozzarella tend to melt easily and smoothly.
Really? Gouda?
Cheeses without much moisture.
Oh, maybe I
fat,
keep getting the weird
hard
type of
cheeses like
Gouda.
Pecorino Romano don't have as many of those molecules in the way. So
don't be a cheese
protein networks tangle up more tightly.
Just consume the cheese.
Have generally been aged for a while. And as cheeses age,
they mocked us with tariffs, saying we would be robbed of cheese a few days ago, but the fools, we have Wisconsin and we have the cheese vault. Why is Wisconsin the top cheese state? I need to know that, actually.
Proteins break down. A little bit of this breakdown gives their structure some nice flexibility, but eventually the proteins get so fragmented that they're even more prone to binding with each other, tightening things up even further.
Oh, we know that.
Moisture and liquefied fat
this looks
escape
familiar.
their protein prism and pool up, or best melter, American cheese, which is formulated in a way that maximizes meltiness. That wasn't the initial goal. American cheese, which was actually developed in Switzerland.
See? And they give us the blame for it. Well, the Americans get the blame for it, but it's actually made by the Swiss.
By a Canadian entrepreneur.
Oh my god, Canadian too. Kraft. That's where it came from. It's from the Canadians. Of course.
Named James Kraft. Yes, that Kraft. was originally conceived as a way to extend the shelf life of cheese. But its makeup also happens to make it the undisputed champion of ooey gooey goodness.
Yes. American cheese, an attempt to make food item with 0 organic compounds. The Canada mentioned.
American cheese starts with young, soft cheeses that are already pretty good melters, often young cheddar and Colby. Then it's
how
heated
did
up
they
and
make
mixed
it?
with a few critical ingredients. Additional moisture and fat, which remember keep that protein network nice and loose, as well as magical molecules known as melting salts.
Melting
When
salts.
these salts, most often sodium citrate, are added to cheese, some of the calcium that glues the proteins together gets replaced with sodium, a less effective glue, increasing the flexibility of the network even further.
I'm so confused.
The result is the easiest melting, smoothest cheese out there. It melts so easily that it kept melting onto my butcher block as I was trying to film it. Except Velveeta, Laughing Cow.
Wait, Laughing Cow isn't real cheese? Less microplastic. I feel like most food have microplastic these days now. We can't avoid it anymore. The title led me to believe you were going to play Deus Ex. Wait. Deus Ex has a cheese-spiracy thing? They're into the cheese? What? Wait. Did they really talk about cheese in Deus Ex? God in 4K watch. She reacts stop. Ow! Thank you for the subscription, Gray Space Mouse. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy my cheese talk today.
And easy cheese.
I know Velveeta has like a really bad reputation out there. Same with the singles. I always wanted to spray this in my mouth so bad. You should play it and find out. I will. I'm so gonna do it. I feel so lied to with the Laughing Cow. This was like my favorite snack when I was growing up.
Legally have to be labeled.
You don't? It's so greasy and bad, really? Easy cheese spray is bad and greasy? I'm about to make cheese Trojan. All the cheese in one horse.
Process, not processed, cheese, pasteurized processed cheese food, or pasteurized processed cheese spread, depending on the extent and exact makeup of those non-cheese ingredients. Or bear an unregulated, but equally convoluted label, like pasteurized prepared cheese product.
Oh my god, here it comes, the legal spiel with
or pasteurized cheese snack.
This.
Now, I would argue that, while perhaps helpful for regulation, the whole American cheese isn't actually cheese distinction isn't particularly meaningful in the kitchen. For all intents and purposes, decent quality American does work like real cheese. And when it comes to melting, actually works way better than its legitimate counterparts. But if you are anti-processed cheese, or want something more interesting
every
than
cheese is processed
underwhelming flavor, you can take a lesson from American not exactly cheese and use sodium citrate, which you can easily get online, to make almost any cheese, like this well-aged extra sharp cheddar, into a really good melter. Check out the description.
It's actually a good tip for cooking.
For how to use this strategy to whip up the creamiest cheese sauces. Let's just say the chemical formula for sodium citrate.
Genuinely surprised about the Laughing Cow as well,
but if
right?
This is a nacho thing, don't worry. You absolutely don't need sodium citrate or American cheese to get a nice level of meltiness.
I guess you can mix milk
melting
with
applications. Just stick to younger, higher moisture and higher fat cheeses. It's Gouda advice that I.
Gouda advice. I guess that's it. Ignore the the embeds don't work like they used to anymore. It's sad. Hello, welcome. I'm gonna add more email tests. Where? Okay. So now that we know about no, I pressed the wrong button. So now that we know about the Craftman, you should watch Tom and Jerry. I don't. Wait, is it really free to watch now? I feel like I'm gonna get flagged and raped by whoever is behind. Oh, MGM. Yeah, I'm gonna get reaped by MGM. Add Flint as an emote. No! I'm not a dog, I'm a rat. Okay. Wait. American cheesecake. 1.5 billion pounds of cheese in America. Oh, Wendigoon made a video of it. Wait, is it safe for me to watch a bit of Wendigoon's video? I don't know. Hold on, let me just reset it. I heard Tom and Jerry! I don't know if it's safe to watch! Hurry up, shut up! Bam. Cheesecake.
The government is hiding billions of pounds of cheese in hidden caves underneath the United States that it is selling off by manipulating our advertising and education systems to our detriment in order to turn a profit.
Huh? Wait, what? It's that deep? Okay, don't tell me to shut up.
And also, welcome to Wendigoon. Today.
Wait, I know that got milk is like one way for them to sell a lot of milk back in the day, because I'd see some of it from like people who would record TV shows out from America, and then they'll give me the CDs and I'd see like little ads of it being mixed in. I had Jerry as my Discord banner for a while. Based. Jerry's the best mouse. He's so smart. Tom is so dumb.
Today we're going to be looking at a conspiracy theory that dates all the way back to the 1970s, and as mentioned, involves secret government cheese tunnels and manipulation of advertisements and education system for their benefit. While there is some theory crafting here regarding the motive for these actions, most of it's just plain and recorded out in the open, so conspiracy theory is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I think it's just piecing like the history of how it all got to why they have like a giant cheese storage in America somewhere. Now it changed it to a mouse sleeping. Aww. When is Smash Bros streams? I don't know. I'm not really into Smash Bros. I'm sorry. I never got to play it much, but when I would borrow like a cartridge from a friend before, when I was like messing with my sister's DS. Oh, what happened to my... Oh. But I played it for a bit, and I was usually playing DDD. Vicky prefers to shower instead of Smash Bros. Smash Bros has no rat character, but I do love DDD. I think he's adorable. That's it.
It's mostly just talking about
remember
something
to be
very
weird in the West.
That the government does.
I need to grab
I've known
soon.
about this story for a long time, but I haven't covered it because I have a rule for myself that if the topic does not involve death in some way, I don't want to cover it. Call it a morbid fascination, but I just think that when something is literally life or death, it just becomes more interesting. No, that doesn't mean someone has to die per se in every topic I cover. Death just has to be on the table, like a disappearance.
Someone died for the cheese? What?
Appearance, or like with the Akali Raft video, the researcher thought that death was going to happen and then it didn't happen, or cryptids, like they're capable of killing people. You get the point. But after looking into it a bit further, I think I can confidently associate various deaths with this story. We'll see how it goes. This is also the second time that I have worked milk into a conspiracy theory regarding...
Oh yeah, what was that? I never got to watch this video from Wendigoon, but what's with American placing like missing kids on the milk carton? Is that still a thing?
The government overlooking the well-being of its citizens for a profit.
Okay, that's terrifying.
While wearing this shirt. And that's an opportunity I couldn't pass up. So hopefully you decide to stick around and see what this rabbit hole's all about. The one thing I want to mention before we get started...
I don't even think they're gonna add Smash Bros yet on the new Switch. You could just skip that console because it's like very expensive.
In the first place is because of dairy. Dairy for the past several centuries has been an incredibly important cornerstone within the world economy. Not only are dairy products like milk and cheese bought and sold in massive quantities across the world, but typically the farmers who are responsible for dairy production are also responsible for several other aspects of food production as well. So not only are these farmers important because things like growing crops or raising cattle tends to be the first step in an entire ecosystem of consumption, but because if those farmers don't do well, then the trade routes that move the product does.
And it's the preservation of like milk, because they expire pretty quickly compared to other farm products. So making or turning them into butter or cheese is probably the best way for them to stockpile their milk and or like their production of dairy products, I guess.
Of people from low-income housing no longer being able to afford dairy, and that not only affects that individual's livelihood and health, but as mentioned earlier, if people aren't buying, the whole market does bad. So the government tries to step in, and as they always do, they just start regulating stuff. Basically, farmers were being told that they need to produce more dairy, but also they can't sell it for as much as the market demands. Meaning that for a couple years, the entire nation's dairy industry, and ergo meat, food production, all of it was almost in the gutter. So in 1977, Jimmy Carter promised to pour two.
Wait, is that really Jimmy Carter? Why does it look like Obama? Wait, is that really Jimmy Carter? Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh my god. Oh my god, he looks like a zombie! What the hell? Old picture. Why does he look like Obama in this one? I'm so confused. Please tell me I'm not the only person who think he looks like Obama in this picture. Am I tripping? How do I zoom this? Wow. See? Am I tripping? I guess I'm tripping.
$2 billion into the dairy industry to once again artificially sustain.
Is he Obama? He does look like Obama.
If it goes, a lot of other stuff goes too. What did that $2 billion go to, you may ask? Well, Jimmy Carter said that any excess dairy that is produced by dairy farms would be bought by the federal government. See, the Department of Agriculture, through the CCC, had been buying up dairy for years now. That was nothing new. However, before, the amount of excess dairy that was bought up was a strategic amount to make sure that there's enough scarcity to keep the prices up enough to keep the farms running. But now,
oh, I remember that. So, like... Hi, Vicky. Why are you watching Wendigoon? But his face shape is a giveaway. Obama's rounder. True, but they do look similar. It's insane. Why am I watching Wendigoon? I'm into the dairy conspiracy right now. I need to know why Americans were forced to drink milk for like a few decades ago, and why there's so much cheese. You could be playing DRG though. Oh, I'm tempted now. I want to finish this one first. Wait. I'm gonna do a poll. Hold on. How do I do polls again? Should I play DRG after I'm done obsessing about cheese in 10 minutes? Wait. Ah! Ow! Oh, I should have pressed enter. Okay. Oh, stop throwing cheese! I'm making a thing. Yes. No, yep, about more cheese. No, yap about something else. The duration would be 5. Okay. Oh, I can't extend the question. Or the answer, whatever. And start poll. Cheese, cheese. You can't spam cheese! Ah! Okay, I will also do a poll on this. Oh. Oh, I can't do polls on this channel. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Wendigoon, I'm doing something. Yes. No. No, yeah, about something else. Oh, I can't do... Okay, there. And post. Year rewind. Yes. Okay, back to cheese. Where's my cheese? Okay, there we go. Wow.
Now that Jimmy Carter has said any excess dairy will be bought up, well, that means, I mean, you can figure it out. Because the farmers who were previously afraid of producing too much dairy, because, you know, if you produce too much, not only are you flooding the market, but also you are raising your cost of production, you are buying more equipment, more farm hands, more cows. Those guys who were afraid of overcommitting are now being told whatever amount of dairy you produce will be sold. So just do the math. If you're a dairy farmer or someone who's merely considered the concept of maybe one day getting into dairy, how much dairy are you going to make? That's right, as much as you possibly can. And yes, while this did fix the rising prices of dairy, it created an entirely new problem. Too much milk. Unless you have hundreds of miles worth of refrigerators, which would be an entirely new energy crisis if you produce that much, there's no way to keep milk for a long period of time. It got turned into cheese.
That's what happened to the over supply of it. And here it is, the cheese psyops.
Issue before. And perhaps most importantly, where did all the cheese go? And that's where we get into the conspiracy. Again, this isn't so much a...
I voted against DRG. You're the one who suggested it. I want to see who's winning. No, yap about cheese. Yap about cheese is winning. Where did the cheese go? I don't know. I ate it. Wait. Show results. Yes. Oh, it's a tie on the... It's
conspiracy,
a tie.
As much as it is a series of conveniences for the federal government. So put yourself
there was no
in the federal
Deus
government's
Play
shoes
Deus
in
Ex
the
option.
1980s.
I need to download that today.
You are continuing to buy
and
dairy
install
from
it
farmers.
and set it up.
Well, you can't quit buying it because now the system has got large enough to a point that if you quit, there could be a market crash that could have repercussions across the entire economy.
Wait, which one? Wait, what do you mean? There's like multiple Deus Exes, by the way? It's 600 megabytes. But I don't have it. I don't even own it.
Can't throw all of your cheese onto the marketplace because that will flood the markets, and what I just said will happen, but in a different direction.
No, there's only one.
The government has become a whale that is buying so much of the product that if the whale were to disappear, it could crash out the whole market. So the government scratches its chin and says, what if, instead of us continuing to buy...
Permission to YouTube link? Yes, you can, soldier. Just post it on Discord so I could click it. Ben Declan. Deus Ex 1 is the only one.
What if we push that responsibility onto the American public? What if we stop increasing the
drown the Americans with milk?
Increase the need to buy cheese. Well, to understand how that happened, you have to understand something called a commodity checkoff program.
You know what I don't understand with how they have an oversupply of milk is that why don't they use actual cream or milk on their chocolates? Like, why do they have to use that one acid that makes their chocolate like preserve longer when Americans consume as much chocolate as everyone else? probably more, but they stick to like the gross one that smells like puke. That's one thing I don't get from them having like an oversupply of milk and then not using it on other products like chocolate. You gotta check the video. It's a classic. Hold on. Womp. True. Where is it? Where is it on Discord? Ping me. Oh, Ouija boards. And why is everyone afraid of Hasbro? It was a toy made by Hasbro that had earned a major spooky rep, and I'm curious if Hasbro intentionally inflated some of these stories to sell more product. Ooh, that's actually pretty neat. Oh no. Wait, let me check. They should make an extraction roguelike. Ow! Wait, here's the cheese! Here.
Where did cheese go? I don't know. Where did cheese go? I don't know.
When was this? Wait, 16 years ago!
I don't know. Where did cheese go? I don't know.
I don't know.
Where did cheese go?
I ate it.
I don't know.
Who moved the cheese?
I don't know. Where did cheese go? I don't know.
Same.
Where did the motherfucking cheese go at? I don't know.
It wasn't me.
Where the motherfucking cheese go at? I don't know.
I don't know, it wasn't me.
Motherfucker.
Oh, I threw it in the chat on Twitch. Oh, that's cool.
Where did the motherfucking cheese go? I don't know.
I don't know.
Bitch, where the motherfucking cheese at? I don't know.
It wasn't me. I didn't eat all of it.
Motherfucker. I don't know. Where the motherfucking cheese go at? I don't know.
They have so much cheese. What are they? Wisconsinites? Ween. 19,000 views only. Wow. I was expecting it to have more. 2008. Ah. What we do? Man, 2008. Oh, what a time. The market crash. Glorious memories. Are we sure that they have an oversupply of milk? I think they're throwing it all away, because oversupply makes it logistics harder, I think. I think most of them were processing. Oh my god. How old were you in 2008? No, I'm not 4. I think I was 15. I think I was 15, I think. In 2008. Yeah, because I was in sophomore year. Zoomer rat? I'm a zoomer? I'm not a millennial? Zoomer ass rat on God, for real, no cap. Finally, no? What do you mean, no? I'm young. I'm a zoomer. No takebacks. That's 2 zoomer calls. Ha. Wait, let me bring this up and then
Quantity checkoff programs are effectively brandless advertisement and marketing.
Disappears.
Sort of. Effectively, you have commodities.
You are a millennial, same age as Tim. No!
Within the United States, like as mentioned with dairy, are important to not only themselves, but the economy as a whole. So a commodity checkoff program is a system that increases the markets and buyers for a specific commodity. So in other words, you're not advertising a brand of something like meat or eggs. You're just advertising eggs or meat as a concept. In terms of America. In 1995, Got Milk was bought by the Milk Processor Education Program, which is a program under the Dairy Promotion Program, and with the
I know the Got Milk program or whatever ad is like made by Kraft, like the Kraft cheese people. Really? That guy is ancient? Yeah. Viscerally disgusting for some reason. What do you mean? Hold on, I'm gonna check. Yap about something else is winning. It's yap over. Wait, let me check. Wait, who won in this thing. Wait, hold on. Oh! Let me see. Wait, how do I see the poll? Ah, poll ended. But yeah, how do I see the poll? Where's the poll ended? 4 minutes ago. Okay. Cheese slap. Oh my god, you're the one who keeps redeeming cheese slaps. Oh my god. Okay, which one? Which one? Ah. Okay, back to channel. Check. I'm going insane. Where's the it refreshed. Where's the poll? Where did the poll ended? Why can't I see it? Sorry if I'm quiet. I have some awful code to fix tonight. Don't worry, it's cool. I don't mind lurking. I'm just looking for where the poll ended. I'm going insane. Someone ping me to it. It's 6. So poll started around here? I don't know. I can't see it. I hate Twitch when it's like this. 28. So it's like in 33 minutes then. It didn't show up. God. How do I see it? Someone who's Twitch illiterate, please tell me how I could see my poll. I'm gonna... It's poll over. I can't see it. Oh well. Back to cheese!
Did you ever think it was weird if you grew up like I did and saw posters of Taylor Swift with a milk mustache? Did you ever think it was strange that it wasn't
YouTube
telling
censor,
you to buy
know
any
about
specific
Twitch.
brand
Where do
of
I
milk?
see that poll?
Like, it wasn't a company's milk that you were supposed to buy. It was just selling you on the idea of milk as a concept. And on that same note, did you also think it was weird that schools began to roll out individual milk and chocolate milk cartons? And like every single year I was in school, that was always an option for students to get. What about all of the education and school health class stuff that got injected about how milk strengthens your bones, or it made its way into all of our commercials and kid shows about how milk makes you big and strong? Isn't it
not in the
convenient
dashboard? Wait. Ooh, hold on. In California, we got milk in little bags. Why bags? Why not cartons? That's awful. It shows up in the dashboard in the activity feed, but it's not showing me the results and who won. That's my issue. No. Also, another good reason why California sucks! And you can have as many as you wanted for free, so I would drink maybe 3 liters a day. Okay, never mind. I think that's kind of base for California, so let you eat as much as you can. That's very cool. Okay, activity feed. Chat. I don't know what these are. Let's see how you get it. In the past, you get powdered milk from the milkman? Powdered? Not real milk? Wait, what do you mean, not real milk? I guess it's from Canada. Wait, I don't know how. Oh, I did not know I could report my own people doing cheese redeems that I did. Oh my god. I'm gonna assume people want to see or like talk about something else then. Back to cheese. Oh wait, this is a different cheese video. Oops. Why do I have Jimmy Carter there? This isn't a civil war? What do you mean civil war?
At the exact moment the government decides
cheese
they want to stop
really?
buying milk, we're all
I can't see the results. Ah! Politics? I don't want to talk about politics. That shit's boring.
That we need to start buying milk. Now, I want to make it very clear. I am not saying any of this to imply or...
Games won? Really? Play Deus Ex Cheese did win?
Suggest that milk is bad for you or you shouldn't drink it. It is infinitely healthier for a child to be drinking a
Deus
carton
Ex
of milk at school than for them to drink
And I don't know which
drink.
Deus Ex.
It is good for you.
Deus
it does
Ex
help
won.
with your body's development, but those are all coincidental to the government's actual goal. Milk was touted as a superfood because the feds needed someone to foot the bill. The fact that it was healthy is just a cool coincidence. It is not the praxis of getting people to drink milk that is the issue, it's the motivation behind it that should be called into question.
True, that's actually a good point, even if it's like good for the people or it's healthy. Tekken? Remember when I said I had issues playing Tekken while everything from my streaming software is running? Yeah, I don't want to risk it, sorry. Wait, what's Mankind
If you
Divided?
want evidence for that, just look at cheese. DMI is most well known for their influential status within the cheese market. So a lot of this money that goes into DMI from dairy farmers, as mentioned earlier, goes to effectively lobby cheese onto the menus of various restaurant and fast food chains.
This is my type of government meddling, adding more cheese products into the thing. How much of a zoomer are you? I'm a zoomer on God, for real. I like Minecraft, I like Roblox, I like cutting my hair weird and curling up the top. For real, for real. Declan owes me a burger. Wait, what's Mankind Divided? Let me check it out. Mankind Divided. Let me type it like a grandma. Mankind Divided. Wait, Vicky, Roblox? No. Remember, I only play it when my nephews are over here. I would open it every now and then, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe if I grew up with it, I'd like it. But I was like way too old when I was looking at Roblox because my nephews, when they were younger, were like, do you have Roblox on your computer? Do you have Roblox on your laptop? And I'm like, oh, fine, I'm adding that. We didn't deserve Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Like, I'm gonna look at it. 10 years ago? What do you mean it sucks dicks? Okay, time for video game reaction today. The 3 Roblox players are predators. That's why I was afraid of, like, when they ask, can we play Roblox? Because I'm, like, genuinely aware that there's an issue about that on Roblox, and they're, like, little kids, and I had to figure out how to block chat, and then they would ask, like, why can't we type? And you're not allowed to type, you're just there to play the game, you're not gonna talk with anyone else. Memories. And then I got him to play, like, really old games from the emulator that's really violent, just to avoid them from playing Roblox. And now that they're, like, way bigger, they were like, hey, do you remember that game you made me play where we shoot zombies? Can we play that again? And you're like, yes, thank you. You should be forcing your nephews to play Quake. I didn't have Quake on my laptop at the time. I had House of the Dead, the PC versions of it, because I used to have, like, the CD of it. So they would play that and they love it. They never got scared of it. Very proud. Human Revolution is bad too? Keep doing your cheese thing? Fine, I will do my cheese thing. I wanted to look at this one first. Screwing children into playing retro games. There are no predators in the chat from when you let them play older games. It's just you and the video game without interaction, so I like that more. I like HR. Sounds like Deus Ex is a bad franchise. Oh no! Subhuman behavior. Wait, Square Enix owns Deus Ex? Really? Oh, that's so Square Enix looking. Four shitty sequels. Is this one of the shitty sequels?
We are human beings. Each and every one of us.
Yeah, apparently Square Enix made this. If it's so good, why can't it have a good sequel?
Must end.
Yes, all sequels are bad. Portal 2 is very good. Half-Life 2 is also very good. Team Fortress 2 also very good. Left 4 Dead 2 is also very good. I don't know.
Number of terrorist attacks highlights the danger.
Operation Game Attack. Well, I am planning to actually.
I once thought I could save the world. Now look at it.
What do you mean Half-Life is bad? It's good. I like it. It's really amazing technology for its time, like Quake and Unreal Tournament. System 2 Shock 2. Oh yeah.
Help me.
Oh, sequels to Deus Ex. Okay. Who cares? People make good games all the time. True.
Sometimes you just have to
Man,
let
this
go
is too Final
and embrace what
Fantasy
you've
2
become.
for me.
They've worked from the shadows for years, shaping the future, manipulating lives,
Oh, the
controlling
conspiracy.
information. Innocents have died
2XKO
as they play their
was
game.
fun? I don't know that one.
We will not sit idly by and allow our rights to be eroded out of fear and
Man, this
ignorance
game looks
alone.
good. Or maybe it's just a cutscene.
We will not be hurt
You just
into
hate fun,
ghettos
true.
and treated as outcasts. We will stop at nothing.
The world is different now. The old rules no longer apply.
Man, I miss it when video games had people looking like people.
So much pain,
Now they just look weird and
so many
insane.
lies.
Tetris, boring ass Gramps
Their
over
darkness
here.
must end.
Massive unk. It's man, people really like replaying this part. I guess I wouldn't understand because I never got into this. Mom was the last good game. Do you get the symbolism they're going for? Government bad, company bad, I think. The music is good. It is. Back to cheese. Wait, Gavin Weber. Wait, why was he searched about the cheese cave? Oh, this is actually pretty good. How to make cheese at home. Oh, I like this more.
Well, g'day, Curd Nerds. Today
Curd
we're going to be
Nerds.
learning about milk.
I should have called you guys Curd Nerds instead of RATards. Ow? Ah, AU.
Milk is the most vital ingredient in cheese making. So I've had so many questions on the
No,
channel.
Australians.
I
What do you
thought that I
mean
would show
no
you the
Australians? Give me a non-Australian cheesemaker then.
worst to the best, and then to go on a little bit further, some of the creams that are marketed
Oh wait, don't you mean nor Australians?
here in Australia. So
That
this is
guy
all
looks like my
supermarket
dad.
bought milk. I went down to our local Woolworths, not dropping any names or anything, but that's where I got them from. This is not a paid product placement. I
There's
purchased
so
all
much
these with my own money.
variety.
Anyway, so let's start off. So the first one we've got here is UHT milk. So this is, it says on the label, Australian full
Different
cream milk,
types of milk.
simple goodness of dairy milk. Anyway, this milk is the worst possible milk
Worst possible milk. I was gonna ask why do people hate UHT milk so much, and then he just immediately say it's the worst type of milk. Full fat milk tastes so good to drink. Yes, finally somebody who understands. I keep getting roped into skim milk is better or low fat milk, but it's not creamy. It doesn't hit as good as like full cream milk. That farmhouse gold stuff is good. How much is it?
You can use to make cheese with. And the reason being, it is ultra heat treated UHT milk. So it's in a silver lined Tetra Pak. You can spot it a mile away. And on the side, it actually says 100% homogenized, ultra heat treated
that is
full cream
harder
milk.
to make cheese with.
Now it has a fairly
like
decent fat content of 3.3 grams per 100, so that's 3.3%. But it will
beer
not
milk?
set a curd. It's almost impossible.
Wait, you're too young to be drinking beer milk, I think.
So the next milk
the organic one
is very deceiving. This one is organic full cream milk. It says permeate free, which is just basically whey. Anyway, the reason why this is very deceptive is because if you have a look at the label, it says it's homogenized and ultra pasteurized. So again, very similar to UHT milk.
Why did they just change it?
It has been superheat treated or ultra heat treated, and it will not set a curd. So if you're going to try and use organic milk, just check. Make sure that it hasn't been ultra pasteurized, because, like I said, it won't set a curd. It's been heated too much. The proteins have been denatured, and basically, you won't get a curd set.
Yep.
Anyway, so the fat content of this one is 4%, so not too bad. It'll probably taste okay, but like I said, ultra heat treated. Ultra pasteurized, so it won't set a curd.
But it's the same. I don't know.
So the next one is skim milk. This is basically coloured water. There is hardly any milk protein in this milk at all. So the fat content of this is 0.1 grams. So it's 0.1% of milk fat. So I can actually nearly see through the carton, even though this is a white plastic carton. You can nearly see through this. So it is useless for making milk,
and
basically.
It's almost the same price as full cream.
For making milk, for making cheese.
More expensive too, which is insane.
Stay clear of skimmed milk.
In my country.
Unless your recipe says add it for whatever reason. Well, the next brand they have, or the next type of milk they have here in Australia is known as
skimmed milk is just bleached water.
So light milk is 1.3 grams of fat per 100
I know people who can only drink
so that's about a fat content
unfortunately,
of
because they can't process the fattier
you can actually use it. This is pasteurized and homogenized.
I think apparently that's like an Asian thing, which I did not.
And homogenized, which is the skim milk. This is the light one. And
I did not
this one
get,
will
which
set
is very lucky.
A curd if you use calcium chloride. However, you'll get a very, very low yield. Compared to, say, the full cream.
I'm going to drink my
we'll
coffee
talk
real
about
quick.
in a sec. So, this is good if you need to make or lower the fat content of one of the fuller cream milks for some reason. And the only reason I can really think of that is if you're making Parmesan, where you need to get it down to about 2.2.
Wait, is it Parmesan or Parmigiano Reggiano?
That's what traditional Parmesan
I'm guessing it's going to be like
from.
American Parmesan.
You could use this to supplement some of the fuller cream milks, which we'll check out in a sec. Okay, so on to our next milk. Now this is where we can actually, from here onwards, don't make cheese with it. From here, this side, so from my right to left, or the other way around, you can start making cheese with these types of milk. So let's get on to it. So this is called, in Australia anyway, it's called full cream milk. So this has a fat content of 3.4 grams per 100 mils. So that's about 3.4% roughly. It is known as standardized milk, so it's been taken.
The Parmesan son. What's confusing to me about is they're doing milk reviews now. It's how to make cheese. What's the best type of milk to make cheese at home? That's my type of review. The one thing I'm confused with, like, full cream milk labeled milk is that some of them are UHT and some of them aren't, and it's, I guess, not I mean, it's hard to explain, but they both have the same labels, but it's hard to differentiate them. They don't have like another specific label for it. Just use whole milk?
Taken from many.
Wait, is whole milk different from full cream milk? Or are they the same? Is it like a language thing? That's one thing I always get confused by, is that, are they both the same or are they like a different type of milk?
Many dairies and many herds of cows, and it has been mixed down. They skim some of the cream off and make this product called full cream milk. Now in the US it's also known, and North America, as far as I can tell, it's known as whole milk.
Oh,
however,
it's Americans.
Whole milk in the US,
it's
I think, is
US.
around about
No,
3.25.
I've been infected by the Angloid version.
Fat, so a little bit less than Australian standardised milk. So using calcium chloride, you can firm up the curd set on this one, and this is perfectly acceptable. This is pasteurised and homogenised, similar to these two products here.
Oh, it's different from like
So you can
UHT
make cheese
then.
with this one. A little bit of a low yield because of the only 3.4% fat. So this one would be perfectly acceptable to use for cheese making if that's all you could get your hands on.
Understandable.
Okay, the next one.
Fake Westaboo,
this is
no!
a product called Farmhouse Gold.
Been found.
Now, I did used to think that this was fairly okay to use for
Cream on top.
making cheese.
I understand
However,
why
I did
you said this is going to be the best type of
I was looking at
milk.
the ingredients,
Or the best
and it says
tasting
ingredients,
milk.
milk and cream.
It's
so it's made from 100%
it deserves
Australian
the gold
milk.
name.
It's unhomogenized and pasteurized. So you can actually see a cream line when it gets a little bit older, but this is fairly new. This is only like 3 days old or something like that.
3 days old.
And there's no cream line on top, but it is unhomogenized. However, just by having that milk and cream kind of leads me to the suspicion that this has had added cream to it.
Wait,
and you don't know if that
what's
cream
wrong
has
with
actually
that?
been thickened with gelatine.
Oh.
What kind of gives it away is if you look at the fat content, it says 4.7%. So 4.7% is abnormally high for normal
milk.
cow's milk.
Yeah.
Normal cow's milk ranges between about 3.8 all the
they
way up to
spiked
5
it.
for some breeds of cow. Here in Australia, they don't
I guess
have
for
those-
drinking it's fine,
really,
but for making cheese it isn't.
uh,
It's so good you
those
can drink the whole
high-fat
bottle
milk,
in a minute.
breeds.
I'm gonna do
The more
a
the
dairy
most
review
similar- the most-
someday if I manage
the cow
to
with the highest
collect
fat content
enough
is usually the
dairy
Swiss
to
brown
review
or
and a space for it.
Jersey cows, which are around about 4.5, 4.8. Now I don't know if they use Jersey cows to get this, but
Wait,
like I said,
there's different
because
type
the
of cows
ingredients
for
list
milk?
cream as an additive, then I think this is standardised milk.
I guess it's
that
the
has
same
had
with
cream added.
chickens.
So I have used it to make cheese. Sometimes it fails, so I would not use this
Oh,
to make milk.
speaking of chickens, I don't know if I'm just being an insane PETA person with this, but I don't like chickens that are like genetically made to be grown in like a few days, or I guess a month and a week. I don't like that type of chicken. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's something there's something disturbing about that they're genetically made to be killed faster. That they grow up very fast and then you just kill them. That's all of them. True. You can't collect enough dairy if you eat it all. Yeah, I'm called out. But yeah, I don't like that type of chicken. I wish like butchers on supermarkets label what type of chicken they have. They would say their chicken is like quote unquote free range, but it's usually just the same. Like they're the type of chicken that's like raised the type of genetic chicken that's raised quickly to be slaughtered. And even though it's like free range, there's something different about them compared to like regular chickens. It's called efficiency. Yeah. The consequences of capitalism. Ooh, nah. I think it's just greed and demand trying to keep up with the population, I guess. But if you could get your hands on like a chicken that you know that isn't like those genetically modified ones, go for those. It's way different. I get it, it's like a bit tougher than the chickens you would get from the quicker raised ones, but it tastes different, especially for your stock. Anyway, no more chicken ranting. $10 free range GMO chickens, yeah. Basically. Out here it's wait, that's mathing, converting. Wait, is that Australian dollars or American dollars? Because if it's Australian dollars, it's almost closer to our price. We love our chickens here. Fried chicken. I like fried chicken. I
So
love
maybe
fried
I should
chicken.
put that.
AUD, so that's... Yeah, it's the same price.
To make cheese. So maybe I should put that here in the
and buy
row
direct
of
then. Yes,
milks
very
to use.
smart sensor.
So that
Buy
brings us
direct
on
from the
to
farmers.
what I consider the premium of cheese making milks. Anyway, here in Australia, and this is unhomogenized.
Wait, what about that milk? Is that
unhomogenized
good?
cow's
Oh my
milk.
god, why is there an old man in the
pasteurised.
picture?
The ingredients say pasteurised, unhomogenized, full cream milk. Doesn't say, oh, it says contains milk. Doesn't say it contains cream. So the fat content of this
it's just
is
pure
3.8
milk.
grams per 100 mils. So that's about 3.8%. This is a very good milk to use for cheese making. If you get your hands on it, it's available, well, here in Australia anyway, at Woolworths, and it's under the brand Farmer's Own. I think they have, every state has a different label. This one says Victoria. I know New South Wales have New South Wales farmers and so on and so forth.
Oh, that's neat. They label their milk by where it came from.
So
Which
this
state,
is
I
perfect,
guess.
and you've probably seen this one in some of my cheese making videos because this is the milk I prefer to use. There is one other which I don't have my hands on, and that's raw milk. Raw milk straight from the cow. If you use it within a day, maybe two, then it's perfectly fine to make for cheese. If you're concerned about the quality of the milk, whether it's been sitting around too long and not at below 4 degrees Celsius, then I would then pasteurise it. I'd use a low heat
where's DRG winning?
Process.
Where is it winning? Oh, in this, on the Discord poll. Oh no! Suck on the others. Ew! No!
Which I'll put a link to in the description
It's very
below.
unsanitary.
So, if you're using raw milk, then yeah, I would pasteurise it. If you're concerned about the storage temperature for a long time, but if you can get it fresh from the cow, just let it cool down to the target temperature of your cheese.
What sucks about cats is that at a certain age, cats shouldn't be consuming milk. They're lactose intolerant, actually. Despite pop culture stereotypes of cats drinking milk, they actually shit themselves bad when they drink milk as adult cats. Let me see. I want to see like people on chat on Discord say yes.
Recipe and then just go for it.
Really?
Now this brings me on to
I need to fix that
because some cheeses need cream added.
But remember,
to increase
there's Kit,
the
so
fat
you guys can
content
avoid that on Kit.
of the milk.
There's a reason why I have
recipes that come to
Kit.
mind are Stilton, where you add a little bit more fat content to the milk, to the cheese, to give it a creamier texture. And also double and triple breeze are another one another cheese recipe where you would add cream. So let's have a look at from the worst to the best as far as creams go. No.
We're gonna skip the cream because I think it's a lot more harder to find this in some places. There's no poll? What do you mean no poll? There is on Discord. Ah! Subscribed with Prime! Thank you for subscribing with Prime! Venom Raven! Thank you, thank you! Bro, what? What do you mean, bro, what? No kick? They're making an Until Dawn movie? I mean... Oh, we got that ad! No.
Brand names.
Actually, I want to check it out quickly. Oh my god, they actually are. Are they using the same actors? Let's peep at it for a bit. Hold on. Whomp. Ah! Thank you for subscribing with Prime, Jerry, sucker. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Oh wow, they actually are making one. Pipe train? I really get to see that rat. Oh, cool. Jerky? I saw a rat and my brain went, Jerry. I said jerky now. Jerky sucker. Thank you, thank you.
There's a place stuck in time.
Aww. I don't think they're gonna be copying the game story by story.
We find ourselves back here again. But the night is never the same. We're here again.
Stuck in time.
But the night is never the same.
Wait, what?
Every night something new is trying to kill us.
This doesn't look like the video game. It's got elements of the game, I guess. But it's mostly like the Wendigo that's making it more well known for, rather than that.
Please let me out. Please let me out.
Until dawn, hahaha, very funny. Yeah, the fake killer mask and the same, that's Peter Stormare's voice? Ooh.
That's where people get into trouble.
Man, I don't know, they should have stuck with the Wendigo. I'm guessing they don't want to get cancelled by whoever who's really gatekeepy about cryptids in America. But yeah, I think it's the butterfly effect that's more well known with Until Dawn and the Wendigos. I'd get it if it's like they're dealing with the Wendigo and like a forest curse that replays them over and over. They don't want to get cancelled by a Wendigo. That's true? Oh, yeah. Well, that sucks. I really like the story of Until Dawn too, like when the first one came out. Comparing it to the gameplay of the current remake, it's a little jarring. It's kind of boring. I need a medic bag! Oh, I'm dying! But yeah, I wish they stuck with the Wendigo and the butterfly effect thing. So if they went back in time, they're gonna figure out ways to try and survive with everyone alive instead of this. I could see people. Wait, let me scooch my ears a bit. Here. Like the porn of Until Dawn and the Quarry. No! I don't even know that existed. But yeah, look at the dislikes. That's insane. I guess a lot of people aren't too fond of this. Very sad. Okay, back to the cheese man. Hold on. Doesn't this sound like Happy Death Day? It does, and it's like there's the other movie that's like similar-ish in what's it called? The topic of it, or like the theme of like time loops and random monsters just showing up. Womp. Cheese man. Aldi's? Wait, Australia has an Aldi's? Oh yeah, I forgot. They're kind of European, I guess. Wait. Coffee time again. Oh, I brewed this too quickly. That one movie with Baby Mask Killer. Yeah, we have an Aldi. Comté style cheese. No. Yeah. Oh, this was a sad, like, moment last year. So what he would do was, like, live stream his old cheese making videos, and then he would do a Q&A in the chat. It was fun. Too bad I couldn't wake up early or have time to be around the time he streams it, because he was, like, streaming at, like, I guess 7 a.m. or, like, 6 a.m. for me. I have no idea what time is it for him there. Oh, goat milk cheddar. And cheese. Oh, cheese and tomatoes. Fromage forte. Leftover cheese. Sultan! Oh, there's so much cheese. Chili halloumi. Wait, I remember Australia having like a weird halloumi drama happening out there. It's one... I think it's about... I don't know if it's about them complaining that halloumi isn't made by Australians and they're trying to claim it or something. What time is it for you now? Time docs, time docs. It's 12 noon. Too much cheese? Nuh-uh, it's enough cheese. I'm trying to pick a cheese. The Tassie devil cheese? Oh no, it sounds gross. Jack-in-a-Box cheese. Vegemite cheese? Ugh. 1 p.m. there? He's in Sydney, I think. Or wait, you're down. Victoria? You could meet up with him. Oh my god, look at these. The old thumbnails. Man, why can't Americans have rodent cheese themed channels? That's sad. Cheese a day challenge. It's when he was doing different types of cheese in one day. Amazing. Asia? Asia. Wait. I don't know what time that is. He looks like my dad and then leave awkwardly. What's this? He proposed during cheese class. Oh my god, let's look at this.
Well, g'day Curd Nerds. This is a very special video event.
Oh yeah, you're in Asia. I forgot Phoenix. I'm sorry.
Just
yeah, it's 11 p.m. there.
A one-on-one cheese making class.
Let's look for the guy proposing. Wait, let's skip. Oh, there it is, there it is. Oh, the setup. Shoving a ring between the cheese.
I love you. Every day, I'm blessed to have you in my life. I love learning with you. I love creating with you. I want it to go on forever.
AM, I'm sorry. Brain.
Yes!
Aww. Oh my god, he has a neon sign of curd.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh. They're gonna cut the wedding cake after cutting the cheese. The ruse exposed.
Just bought this over yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, it's all planned.
We've already made sure.
Man, they got cheese. What's it called? Cheese workshops, man. That's lucky. We're cheesing around. Wedding cheese. Their cake's gonna be a wedding cheese. Ah, that's so moldy. Guido taste test. Gorgonzola. Truffle cheese. Ah, truffle cheese. 5-year-old cheese taste. Wait! There's something sad I need to discuss after scrolling through his cheese library. Hold on. There it is. The cheese... I don't know if anyone's aware about the cheese crisis. Not the tariff stuff, but like cheese production crisis.
Are brie and camembert going extinct? You've probably seen the articles out there that are suggesting that these cheeses are endangered because the primary mold used to create them, Penicillium camemberti, is becoming harder and harder to reproduce. So here's how
why is it?
Once upon a time, when brie and camembert were originally created, they had a very diverse microbial profile.
Time to hoard your brie and camembert, guys.
Mold that was creating that downy rind and all of the attributes that people were responding to and loved about those cheeses. They standardized that mold and genetically modified it and created Penicillium camemberti from the wild mold, which was Penicillium biform. The thing is, you would never find Penicillium
in the disc server.
Kind of like how you'd never
I hope you enjoy it there, by the way.
So
we have game servers
It's very
in
similar
there.
to the situation we have of bananas. I'm sure you've heard this story. Once upon a time, we had a ton of different types of bananas, but eventually we genetically modified them to create one type of banana. And the problem with that is, while those are delicious, if a disease comes and wipes out those bananas, we're not going to have any bananas, and they're not resistant to the different changes that can be happening in the climate. But don't worry, guys, there is hope. While Penicillium camemberti is endangered, her grandmother, Penicillium biform, is still alive and well and in the wild and able to make cheese. But those cheeses are not going to look like that downy white standardized brie that you find at the grocery store.
I hate bananas and
based.
based.
Maybe they're going to be a little bit funkier. Maybe the flavors and the smells are going to be a little bit different. But they're still amazing cheeses.
No,
All
it's
I'm saying
this
is keep
different.
an open mind and don't panic because cheeses is not.
I will
going
not
anywhere.
keep an open mind. I want the OG. I hate bananas. Total banana death. True. I hate the texture. I hate the weird mouthfeel that after you eat them, it makes your mouth feel squeaky. Also, based. I hate those. Cheese memes. Yes, we have the cheese channel and the rat channels. I like banana no stick. Banana no stick? What's that? The one that doesn't stick in your mouth? But yeah, what I don't like is that they never explain why it's going to disappear, like why the specific mode is going to disappear. What is DRG? Deep Rock Galactic! Rock and Stone! It's an extraction game. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but yeah. It can get pretty repetitive unless you mod it to be more difficult. I still haven't unlocked Hazard 5, actually. I'm just too lazy to. But, what do you mean, but? It's just, it gets repetitive when you do the same difficulty. You're no dwarf? No, I like difficult dwarf missions. I like deep dives. It's hard to organize a 4-team for deep dives. No, dwarf stinks? No! She's a Rorf. A Rorf. Oh, there it is. Here's the news that keeps popping up on my ads when I watch streamers.
This cheese is being stabbed, so molds can grow inside.
Without molds, we'd have a very bland
Vampire
cheese world.
Survivors? I don't know if it's fun to watch because it's a game that feels more fun to play.
All of the globe's brie and its funkier cousin camembert relies on one strain of white molds called Penicillium
I need to
camemberti.
buy both soon, ASAP.
But now some French
to
scientists
enjoy
say
them again.
it could be on the verge of extinction, putting an industry worth billions at risk.
PETA.
It's crazy risky that we've got one ingredient
Don't
going
take
and
my
producing
cheese
all
away,
this cheese.
Jesus.
We're on a bit of a
Keep
panic
the-
mode that what are we going to do as a replacement?
Why are all the
replacement mold
cheesemakers
in the wild
Australian?
can be
Why
really
is
hard.
that?
Literally a needle in the haystack.
So why is the iconic white mold at risk of dying? And what does this mean for cheese lovers around the world? Many cheesemakers globally get their Penicillium camemberti mold freeze-dried from labs in France.
Wait. So France is the only cloner of that specific mold? Why is it not being cloned in like other countries that make cheese? Like they have big cheese production like Australia. Why? I can get you full edition of no, don't do it. It's fine, don't worry. They're hoarding the brie. No. Or sussies? They're Aussies, so they're sussy. True. Oh man.
This includes Simon Barry, who runs the Whitestone Cheese Company in Oamaru, New Zealand,
Oh,
which has
it's
specialized in
oops.
artisan cheese for
They
nearly
both sound
40
the same.
years.
You both
He
have the
pays
same
$50
accents.
for this
I'm
dose of
sorry.
mold, which will give him 240 large wheels of brie.
Ah, the fluffy.
Simon's team starts its brie out just like any other cheese, with a big vat of warm milk. They inoculate it with
They're
mold
hoarding.
at this stage.
They need to
We
stop
rely on
hoarding
molds
the
to give us all
brie.
this flavor and all this
mold.
creativity.
Cheeses injected with mold, like camembert and gorgonzola, tend to have more pungent and complex flavors than those
Oh,
made
I have
without it.
actually a good answer to that. Because for some reason, most insects thrive on hot climates. So, in countries where it's tropical or subtropical, it's heat and moist. So, they're gonna quadruple in size compared to countries with like 4 seasons or mainly colder countries. It's why I'm jealous of like colder climates, northern hemisphere closer places, with less bugs.
Like mozzarella or cheddar. Moldy cheeses can also be more expensive.
If you're in
They
an
got their own
island, you're
personalities,
so
their own wee stars in
screwed.
themselves.
No matter the mold content, cheesemakers add rennet to curdle the milk, separating it into solid curds and liquid
Oh,
whey.
look at
So
it!
gonna
It's so
turn
squeaky.
almost like a custard texture.
They dip in this giant
Yellow
knife to cut it in
Pikmin
one direction
hoodie.
and then the other.
I'm more
They still
base
do
yellow
this part by
Pikmin
hand,
enjoyer.
so they can feel how the curds are developing.
1 p.m.
They want them
It's
to be about the size of
12
the die.
p.m.
The inside is still slightly gooey and shiny.
Ah, squeaky.
This is one of the only automated steps in the process.
How brie is made. Yes, we know how brie is made. There it is. That's the mold
Humans
history.
used to make cheese from a variety of wild molds, but over the centuries they domesticated them, similar to how a wild grain, after many generations of breeding,
GMO
was turned into
mold.
the corn we eat today. They started by manipulating the environment, like placing the cheese in damp caves or aging it on different kinds of wood, eventually figuring out which molds were tasty and not toxic to eat.
Oh my god, people
You
died
cannot
trying to
domesticate
find the
in
best
1,
cheese.
2, 3 generations. It really needs time to evolve, to adapt, to be domesticated.
Early versions of brie and camembert were very different from today. They could have been orange, gray, or even blue.
If you went to buy
Why
a
eat
camembert
mold? Because
wheel at a
mold
farmer's market in France,
tasty.
it'd be like 250 years ago. It would have been just like blue.
Penicillin
and
is a
stinky,
mold,
maybe
the
smell like,
medicine.
a wet basement.
The problem was, there was a risk those early domesticated molds could reproduce and create toxic babies.
Sick babies.
In the late 1800s, French scientists found and isolated a very rare penicillium mold with a genetic mutation that made it albino. They called it
Thank you,
Penicillium
French
camemberti.
people.
It made cheese that was creamy, tangy, and pretty, and people loved it. It also grew quickly and made consistent batches of non-toxic cheese. Soon,
I forgot how
cheesemakers
censored
across
Kick
France
is.
and the world started going all in on this new mold. But what made it so popular could also be its demise.
There is no genetic diversity within Penicillium camemberti.
For the past 7 years,
I like the way they
Jean
pronounce
Ropas
camembert.
has been researching how cheese molds adapt for the French National Center for Scientific Research outside Paris.
It's cheese.
And in 2024,
over.
it was her lab that sounded the alarm that Penicillium camemberti could be on the verge of extinction. The mold
But they
has
never say
another
when it's
genetic
gonna be
mutation
extinct.
that makes it reproduce asexually. To replicate on cheese crusts, it releases spores that are
Kinda
genetic
like
copies
Twitter.
of their parents,
On the
aka
Discord.
clones.
Ah.
After over a
Oh
century
wait.
of
Oh, I remember why. Because I'm sorry for the kick people, but the reason why it's so extremely censored is that there are a bajillion bots there that are just spamming scams on the chat. So I put the copy paste of the shit they spam over and over on the censorship, so that's why apparently it censors the entire word and not just the specific sentence. Toxic babies, like kind of like Twitter. I almost wrote that too, but Blue Sky probably more accurate now. Dude, I don't know why
cloning,
places like
Penicillium
Twitter and
camemberti
Discord,
is producing
Twitter
fewer
and
spores than
Blue
it
Sky
used
is
to.
like really
If you
insane
don't
right
have
now.
spores, it's difficult even for the cheese producers to
Have
have a
many
good
people
amount
move
of
on to Blue
penicillium
Sky?
to
I don't think most people did. Like the ones who say they have Blue Sky, they're not as active as they are on Twitter. My issue with Blue Sky mostly is that their uploads are a bit rough. Like, it takes a while even for photos. And it's really hard to comb through some posts. I do like their feature of like having specific topics be labeled, but at the same time, people mislabel their topics and mix politics and weird stuff like porn on specific things like garden. I have garden followed as a topic, and there's like I would sometimes be jump scared by some naked guy on a bed of flowers, so that's fun. So I don't use it much. Ah, the burgers! Doesn't own Blue Sky.
cells.
And Jan worries more cloning will only cause more
Just
bad
had a bunch of
mutations.
orders cancelled. Need to
After
go
a
deal with
long,
people.
long time,
No!
the generation
I hope it goes
is causing
smoothly.
less diversity, and sexual reproduction is necessary for survival.
Oh.
It's also really unlikely we would find another Penicillium camemberti in the wild. It developed that white color likely because it was growing in a dark cheese cave, but that also leaves it with very little protection.
The blue color of the ancestral mold is almost like a sunscreen. It protects it from the stress of UV light.
The lack of genetic diversity makes it susceptible to pests too. A disease could quickly wipe out the whole strain.
Survival of the fittest.
You will never own a cheese cave. No, let me own a cheese cave.
Because it's on the cheese. It's more big than just mold.
You know what's one thing I've always wondered? Why do cheese caves and mushroom caves are separate? Yes, we are doing DRG. What do you mean? Wait, do people really want to swap to DRG? I'm just showing like really depressing cheese news and cheese-spiracy. No! Are we gonna stick to cheese? Speaking of order, my gamer subs waifu couple arrived. It took 2 months for me to wait. Oh my god. What kind of logistics nightmare is that? I want the cheese news? Okay, we are sticking to the cheese news.
Many industries rely on limited crop variety, allowing for the quick spread of disease,
poll ended.
like oranges, kiwis, and the most popular banana in the world,
Cavendish.
It has been
Oh yeah, they
cloned for
are.
decades, but now a
On a
deadly
risk.
fungus is decimating the trees globally because there's no resistance. And scientists are now rushing to find new varieties that can resist the disease.
Or you could like
While
make
there aren't
it,
any
breed it
diseases threatening
to
Penicillium
be
camemberti
immune to it.
now,
I don't know.
its vulnerability is really concerning to producers.
Wait.
While there aren't any diseases threatening Penicillium camemberti mold now, its vulnerability is really concerning to producers.
Oh, they just discovered it's at a risk of like going extinct, so it's not currently going extinct. God, I hate journalists so much. I hate them so much. I like pineapple. Ew, Cavendish. No, yeah, I hate most bananas, to be honest. Here's the thing: if you're in the US, it will take a week. Then you are in Asia. Yup. I've had my nightmares with logistics. It's mostly from taxes.
nervous because,
wait,
you know,
wait,
if
wait,
you
wait.
got to...
You're from the Philippines, right? I have a friend who bought something from Hong Kong out there, and it went past $100 in worth, and he had to pay taxes for it. So apparently any purchases someone made or someone getting shipped by something that's worth $100, you're gonna get taxed for it, apparently. I don't know how that works, so I hope you didn't buy something that expensive. Because that's what I heard from my friend when he bought, like, a bunch of tech stuff from Hong Kong customs. You're from Texas, no wonder it's 12 p.m.? No! I'm in Asia too! It's AM for them. It's 12 a.m. for the Texans. I'm in Asia as well. But I will not say where. Ha 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 ha. Customs moments.
It's not going to turn up. Well, what are you going to do?
Ow! Thank you for the follow, JMax Gamer. Thank you. JMax Gamer 96. Welcome. We're talking about cheese.
Concerné par l'avenir du camembert.
French.
Complètement, ouais.
Charles Briand is a third-generation cheesemaker in Normandy, France. He spent years perfecting his camembert recipe, which he now sells under the label Les Cinq Frères. And he loves what Penicillium camembert tea does to the cheese.
His brand of cheese soon.
Elle vieillit et après le fromage il devient un petit peu marron sur les arêtes, sur le tour, et le fromage est aussi crémeux.
Yes,
he makes his camembert the traditional way,
from
with unpasteurized milk.
Dès que j'ai le lait, c'est le moment où j'ensemence le lait.
His process is steeped in tradition. For one, he still ladles the curds into molds by hand, just like cheesemakers have for centuries. His team does this process 5 times, waiting an hour in between for the liquid to drain.
On peut pas faire les 5 fois en même temps parce qu'il n'y a pas assez de place dans les moules pour verser les 5 louches d'une seule fois.
Wait, what? Who got auto-modded? Hold on. Bonk. Let me check. Oh wow. There we go. And bump. Because when I heard your accent for the first time during your Left 4 Dead 2 stream, it sounded redneck. My accent practice is working! Y'all didn't believe in me. Sorry not paying attention to the chat. It's cool, don't worry. Automod's weird. I think Automod thinks redneck is an insult. I guess it is. I don't really mind. It's good. That means my accent's getting better.
As it ages,
on peut dire que ça moutonne.
With 4 of his brothers also in the business, there's a lot at stake if his white mold goes extinct. France is the birthplace of brie and camembert, and a top producer globally, so it could be hit hard if there's a mold meltdown.
I'm being black-pilled about cheese.
Seront concernés, donc ce sera un changement global.
But Charles doesn't have the time to find a new mold to replace camembert tea.
Neutral
and
American,
even if he did, it would cost him a lot of money to figure out how to work with it.
Mais il faut beaucoup de temps parce qu'il faut faire beaucoup d'essais. Je suis quand même fermier, je suis pas, j'ai pas une grosse équipe, je suis tout seul.
And he says French consumers might have a hard time
giving up that cheese store.
Parce que produire c'est très bien, faire un beau fromage, mais il faut réussir à le vendre derrière. Traditionnel. Nous, en France, les gens, ils ont une certaine habitude. Et par contre, si on est en Nouvelle-Zélande, je pense que les clients, ils n'ont pas forcément l'habitude d'avoir du camembert. Donc, si on leur présente une nouvelle forme, ce sera moins gênant, c'est sûr. À moins que ce soit des Français qui habitent en Nouvelle-Zélande, et là, ça va pas aller.
It would be
Simon
for
has seen
me.
just that. An appetite among New Zealand consumers to
look
try
at how
new
golden
cheeses.
that cheese wax is.
When I was a kid, cheese was the 1 kg block of Chedda or Colby. The range available now in New Zealand of all these different flavour profiles is significantly changed.
All this demand has allowed him to experiment.
GD map?
And that's how
Cheese
he came
whiz.
across a new kind of blue mold the world had never tasted before. It was discovered on a hay bale on a farm 2 hours away.
The hay bale was also wrapped, and that kept the moisture in there. At high altitudes, that would have been cold.
What
and very similar
made him
environment
experiment
to,
with that?
The blue cheese in its cave.
Whitestone says this is probably one of the only
No,
non-toxic
I'm not
molds
gonna
found in the
answer.
wild and commercialized in recent
Oh my god.
decades. Simon had to get permission from the
That's
government
all.
to start
I
making
forgot about
cheese
the
with
physics.
it and prove with lab tests that it was safe to eat.
At first, they were like, what are you guys doing? This is mad. And then they saw the light.
Once he got approval, it still took the team 6 months to figure out how to work with it.
The first cheeses we made, we went into the maturation room and you picked them up and it was like a powder.
Whitestone named the cheese Shenley Station Blue after the farm where the mold was found.
Aww. Actually, I want to try that too.
Unlike Brie, these rounds don't get a brine bath. Workers punch the wheels out of their ring molds and roll them in salt by hand.
Oh, that's gonna be one salty cheese.
This makes it easier to control the salt levels.
Mission failed. We'll
Too
get it
much,
next
and the cheese
time.
might taste too bitter. Also, they can't put these in the same bath as the white cheeses because they don't want to cross-contaminate the molds.
Oh,
Mixing
smart.
molds could create unpredictable flavors that they don't want. This machine pierces the wheels so the blue mold can reach inside.
Painful.
Piercing feeds oxygen, letting that blue mold grow and thrive in there with an oxygen feed.
The team stores the blue cheese at 48 degrees Fahrenheit. in a
Goodbye,
separate
enjoy
aging
your
room to
brunch.
keep
Thank
the
you for
two
tuning
molds
in.
apart.
Bye bye, bye bye.
Just like Brie, the Shenley Station Blue will get sweeter as it ages.
I like how they
But
give
instead
the
of creamy,
Aussie
it turns
subtitles.
crumbly.
It gets firmer. So
It's
drying
hard
out
to
over time.
understand.
It's a
Also,
local
apparently he's a
environment for that blue
Kiwi,
mold to grow
not
and
an
develop
Aussie.
flavour. We turn these cheeses by hand twice a week, keep them round, keep the circular.
After up to 6 months, the wheels are ready for packing. But finding a new white mold could be much harder.
So white mold.
So we already know the solution for it. It's to find a similar type of camembert mold, but it's going to be a different color. It's going to be tasting different. But thankfully, they're just scaring us that there is a possibility, but it's not currently happening. They just discovered that they're gonna be disappearing someday, just like the Cavendish banana variant. Cause they're sussy. Speaking of like Kiwi and Australian accents, wait. Here it is. I hope there aren't any New Zealanders watching this, by the way.
If you're like me, you find it very hard to keep your dick dry. I left my dick unprotected and it was warped out of shape in no time. I could barely recognise my own dick. Imagine that. Then I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. The best way to take care of your dick in 3 easy
Dick
steps.
sealant.
First, wash your dick with soap and water. Then, wait for your dick to dry. Once your dick is clean and dry, paint your dick with Schaefer's dick sealant. I used to be too embarrassed to invite people over to see my dick. But now, my dick's the talk of the town. I even have pictures of my dick. Check out that dick. I'm going to send this to my secretary. Barbara always loves to receive my
Secretary?
dick pics.
What the hell is that
After
accent?
all, summertime is all about spending time on your dick.
Ow!
I'll often have 20 to 30 people on my dick at once. That can really wear your dick out, causing dick splinters and discoloration.
You
But with
use
Schaefer's
dick
dick sealant,
sealant?
my dick stays a nice golden brown colour. Who wouldn't want a golden dick? I used to never let children anywhere near my dick. My dick was too dangerous for kids to play on. But it seems like every kid in the neighbourhood's been on my dick this summer, and they've all had a good time. My dick's over 70 years old. But it
Hello
looks
there,
brand new.
hello happy
That's part of the
airplane.
reason all
Welcome,
my neighbours
welcome.
are jealous
We
of
were
my dick.
talking about cheese,
Wasn't that
but
right, Jum? Yes, you've got it.
we were talking about cheeses, but the guy talking about the cheese was New Zealander, and people thought he was Australian. So now I'm showing this advert of classic New Zealand accent.
Nice dick, okay? His wife is always on my dick, begging me to know the secret of my perfect dick. If you like Schaefer's dick sealant, check out Schaefer's New Zealand style cock. I had a huge hole in my dick, but I fixed it by jamming some cock in it. You'd be surprised how many things you can fix
forgot
by
about the
jamming
cock.
cock into them. Have an extra large hole in your dick? Try Schaefer's African style cock. Just go to your local home and
What do you make videos on? Rat edits and edits of my streams.
improvement store and ask for the big black cock. Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. Don't put it on your penis. There's also a helpful number on the back. Hi, I've got a question about my dick. Schaefer's New Zealand style. Hey, get that squirrel off my dick. He knows he's not allowed to come on my dick.
Anyway, no more funny accents now. Video? Mixed video, no beer. Yes, no beer. Cock always makes me laugh, same. Anyway, back to cheese. Out of cheese topics. It's like my top concerns about cheese. It's the extinction of a certain mold from cheese making. Oh, it's on. Video on beer. I'm not a big drinker, but you could talk about it with Clove. He knows more about beers and craft beers and stuff. I'm mostly the cheese person. And chickens. I never got to see cows often. Just chickens. And like crops. You drink? Only when I got invited to barbecues, that's it. Like grilling restaurants. That's the only time I drink alcohol, but only like half a bottle. I know my limits. I know about potatoes. Wait, Canada has potatoes? I thought you guys have snow and moose. And maple syrup. Maple syrup. Wait. Someone give me a cheese suggestion, because that's the only thing I wanted to rant about. The false sense of urgency about the Camembert and Brie mold going extinct. Viking cheese? Okay, let me check about Viking cheese. Viking cheese. Oh! Like, medieval cheese! Wait, how to make cheese like a Viking? Yes. Well, it's similar to Monterey Jack? Ooh.
Hello, welcome back to Eat Like a Viking.
How to basic cheese video. No.
I'm the Saxonist.
Sorry for being a nerd, but have you ever heard of Doctor Who? I've loved Doctor Who! I've been watching it since the 8th Doctor. I never got to watch the old classic ones, but my dad did have like a VHS like of the first Doctor till the 3rd, but I never got to watch it because the VHS player died. I hope you know what a VHS player is. But I did stop watching Doctor Who around like half of the 11th Doctor because the writing started to suck. I wanted to like Peter Capaldi as the 12th. Like he had some great episodes, but most of it just falls so short. Like they had the opportunity to make it really great, and then after that I just dropped the entire series as a whole. Doctor Who mod Minecraft. Oh, my back. I remember having fun with that mod years ago. Yeah, it really started to be crap. Yeah. I got into Doctor Who when I was in college because there's like a club for watching TV shows, and their thing was like Doctor Who. And then the moment like the story and the writing started to suck, they went from being a TV show club to being Anglophiles. It was the most horrendous experience I ever had. I had to leave. Like, they would imagine weeaboos, but for like British culture. They have like a day where they dedicate to hoard like food products from the UK and sample it. So they would bring like Jaffa cakes, digestives, teas, jelly babies. Oh my god. I stayed for like the snack part of the club activities, but I started to leave when they started doing the accent, which is gold coming from me because I'm trying to sound like an American right now. My favorite doctors were 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I haven't checked 14 yet. 13, they hired a really great actress, but oh my god, whoever her script or story writer is for her season, it's just no. Like 11 was like the death bell for the future of the series and how it's gonna be bad. Is it I don't want to go or I don't want to go? The first one. I don't want to go. With 10th. Memories. You should do a modded single player that can chat non-NSFW mods? Wait, what do you mean? My favorite Doctor would be 8th and 9th. And a bit of 10th. But he also had to suffer through Mofat's bad writing, so I really wish they made 9th longer, because an edgy Doctor who came from like what happened to him as an 8th Doctor is like, I want to see more of that, but I guess they had like a weird dispute about his renewal of the contract for the 2nd season. He said he hated the writers. Based, oh my god. Redeemed Doctor. He's being more based than I ever thought. I'm not a fan of Doctor Who, but I like fighting games. Yes. I can't suggest people to watch Doctor Who these days, because it's like, it's hard to tell them where to start. They could start with like them reviving Doctor Who in the 2000s, like the 9th Doctor, but they could also start with like the 60s one, but it's hard to get into for people. You could start chronologically with the first one, but it's so ancient. I don't think people could sit long enough to be interested in it, because that's where it's like the TARDIS was like different things before it got stuck being a wait. I think I'm mixing it up somewhere. It's been a while since I've been watching that show. I can't suggest any Netflix show. That's fair, because I don't know, most next Netflix shows are kind of mid.
AKA Craig.
Okay, let's listen to you, Mr. Viking Man. His audio is a bit quiet.
Only takes a couple of ingredients, and it tastes amazing. So let's get to it.
His eyes are so big.
Start by heating 1 litre or 4 cups of full fat milk.
Yeah.
Heat the milk until almost boiling. If you're using a thermometer, this is about 90 degrees Celsius. Take the milk off of the heat and add 250 ml or 1 cup of cultured buttermilk, or 30 ml of vinegar or rennet. Stir thoroughly before leaving for around 15 minutes. The milk will curdle and the whey and curds will separate. Strain the mixture through a cheesecloth to remove the whey. You can keep the whey for making flatbreads or adding to soups and stews, or even use it for pickles and preserves.
Oh yeah, I forgot you could do that with preserving.
Hang the cheesecloth full of cheese somewhere to drip for around 2 hours.
Man, that looks like a dirty underwear.
It's great, served on a nice bit of bread. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Wait, that's it? That's how... Oh, it's like a cheese spread. What was your favorite regeneration sequence? Now I will be quiet. Oh, don't worry, it's cool. My favorite regeneration sequence. I guess 9th going to 10th and watching Rose just be surprised, I think. It's so hard to remember all of the moments on this TV show. I think the last time I watched Doctor Who was like 2014, so I'm bad at remembering things. It's mostly because I mostly remember the club activities in college. Oh, it's a rat! Yeah, I'm a rat! Hello! Hello, Juster Sir! Welcome, welcome, I'm watching about cheese. Bump. Wait, I want to see more Viking cheese. I want to see Tasting History! I love his channel! I like seeing, like, how certain foods have been discovered and stuff, and how they're, like, translated to modern recipes. Cheese to meet you. I hope you're having a good day. Oh god. The player broke. Refresh. Cheese. Here we go. He's back. Boom.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tasting History. I'm Max Miller. Have you ever heard the saying that the moon is made of green cheese?
Yes.
I've always found it baffling. Not because the claim that the moon is actually made of cheese, but that it's green.
Yeah, it's like a modern day Discovery Channel.
I've seen a yellow moon, I've seen a white moon.
What is my biggest pet peeve? I'm thinking. I never really thought about that. I guess loud noises. That's like general loud noises. I'm not a huge fan of that. I have very giant rat ears, as you can see over here. Boom, boom, boom. So I can't really go to like clubs with loud music. Even if I get invited by my friends, I'm like, no, you guys could go. I don't want to go in there. It's too loud. And the flashing lights, holy crap, I feel like I'm gonna be sick after staying there for 10 minutes. On roller coasters?
Never green.
I can do roller coasters.
Well, it turns out that in the Middle Ages, green cheese had nothing to do with the color of the cheese, it had to do with the age of the cheese. It was fresh cheese. New cheese. And today I'm going to show you how to make your own dazzling white green cheese.
You should have more subscribers? True, I wish I do.
Now, there are all sorts of ways to classify
I want to get
You've got your hard
unlock
versus
the
soft,
membership
your
stuff so
aged
people
versus
on YouTube
non-aged,
could have
your stinky
emotes.
versus non-stinky, and then you've got cheeses made with rennet and cheeses made without rennet. Rennet is an enzyme inside of the stomach of some animals, and it helps to turn milk into cheese. Rennet tends to give the cheese a stronger
We know
flavor,
cheese
whereas cheeses without rennet
classifications. Let's go to the history of cheese. Thank you for subscribing, Happy Airplane. Welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy my future content soon. You're awake. Oh my god. How long were you asleep? You were awake last night too. Also, are you gonna grab Repo very soon? Ha 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 ha.
Now, it's thought that cheese was first discovered around 8000 BC, right?
8000 BC?
Well, not we, people. And in 2018, a jar found in the tomb of Thales, mayor of the ancient city of Memphis, was found to hold ancient
Memphis,
cheese.
Tennessee?
Now, of course, the cheese was several thousand years old, and so it's rock hard and really gross, and scientists have actually found that the original cheese had a bunch of bacteria in it that causes what's now known as Mediterranean fever, so not great. But, just like Mediterranean fever, the love of cheese was about to spread across the region. Also, just terrible. In Greece, they made feta. Homer actually dedicated numerous lines in the Odyssey to describe the Cyclops' penchant for making feta cheese out of his sheep's milk. He even had an entire room in his cave dedicated to making cheese.
What's the best time to sleep? In my opinion, 10 p.m.
Especially for making and preserving
and wake
cheese.
up at like 5 a.m.
The cheeses of the Mediterranean at that time
or
were
5:30.
very salty. It was the only way to preserve them for long periods of time in the warm Mediterranean climate. It wasn't until cheese moved north that you start to see most of the cheeses that we know today. Now, monks didn't necessarily invent all of these types of cheeses, but they did tend to perfect them. They had a lot of time on their hands, and they had to go most of the year without being able to eat meat. So they wanted various cheeses to add some variety to their diet. They found that lowering the salt allowed new bacteria to grow in the cheese-making process, giving rise to tons of different flavors.
Oh, I want to try that green cheese.
Brie, Camembert, Cheddar, Gorgonzola, Grana, Gruyere, and Roquefort were all popular cheeses on monastic tables throughout medieval Europe. Now, of course, most of these cheeses took a lot of time and a lot of money to make, and most people were poor, so instead they made their own fresh cheeses in their cottage.
Oh, is that where cottage cheese came from?
The cheese that we're making today is an...
Would you try the one cheese that has live maggots on it? Yes. I think that's like in an island in Italy. I forgot the name of it. But I do know that cheese. There's also cheese that's like covered in a lot of cheese mites in France. that America banned, which is insane. I don't like that they banned that cheese at all.
An early form of cottage cheese. Now, cottage cheese had pretty much lost its popularity by the early 20th century, partly because it was associated with poverty, and partly because of the rise of processed cheese. But when World War II hit,
I should make a Draw My Life video? No, I think that would be too personal.
Cheese,
I'm sorry.
Along with dried compressed cheese, the precursor to today's Cheetos, were all shipped across the pond to feed our boys fighting the Nazis. Now, on top of that, meat was heavily rationed in World War II. So where was the home front to get the protein to keep those rosies riveting?
Cheese.
Enter cottage cheese. The Department of Agriculture sent out millions of postcards with recipes for cottage cheese and different ways to use it. This is probably when Richard Nixon developed his infamous love of cottage cheese.
Cheese maggot sounds
for
good.
breakfast, he was known to eat
Wait,
cottage
tell me what
cheese
the
with ketchup.
name is
and for
called.
the last meal before his resignation, he ordered cottage cheese with pineapple slices.
There it is,
and a glass of
pineapple
milk.
and cheese.
That's a real picture of the actual meal. Now don't worry, I'm not going to be putting ketchup or pineapple on my fresh cheese. Instead, I'm going to actually make a sambo cod, a medieval cheesecake with it, on our next episode.
Next episode? No.
Let's go check and see that it's done draining. Once most of the whey has gone through the colander, transfer the cheese to a large bowl and stir to break up the curds and work in the rest of the whey. Now I need to leave the cheese in the fridge to chill for 2 hours before using it. It can stay up to 2 days, but the fresher, the better. Tomorrow I'm going to use it to make a sambo cod, the medieval cheesecake I mentioned earlier. If you want to check that out, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below if you end up making your own fresh cheese, and I will see you next time on Tasting History.
Man. By the way, his cheese making process is like super basic, so I had to skip. But learning about how cottage cheese was made, or how cheese was first discovered, is pretty cool. That's all. Wait, I'm gonna look for the maggot cheese just to show people. Cheese. Wait, London also has it? Bruh. Italy. No, I pressed the wrong thing. I put sausage on macaroni and also beans. I also put fruit in a vegetable salad. Usually the unconventional combinations of food based on their sweetness, sourness, or whatever 5 tastes there are, or 6 I guess, is a good combo. Ow! Hey, my redeems are fixed, by the way. Oh yeah, for the people watching on YouTube, there's a 30-second delay, and I'm streaming on Twitch and Kick. If anyone wants to use, like, the funny redeems, you could go there. Ow! I'm still trying to figure out how to add redeems for, YouTube. It is, yes. Here it is. Oh, look at it. Finally someone who has the zoomed in version of the video. Ow! Oh. Look at it go.
On the Italian island of Sardinia, there's a...
Oh, not kick the chat app thing, but like kick the website, KICK. That's like my other alternative in case one of the two breaks down. I like to have multiple streams running, in case something happens to each one of them, so people could still watch. I like having its alternatives.
Delicacy that has been consumed for thousands of years. It is known as the world's most dangerous cheese.
How is it dangerous?
Yeah, you heard right.
No delay on Twitch, but YouTube has a delay of 30 seconds.
Meet Simone Iba, a third-generation sheep farmer.
Abbiamo circa 250-300 pecore che produciamo latte Di questo una parte di questo latte lo utilizziamo per fare del formaggio casumarzu.
Kazumarzu literally means rotten cheese, and it's not for the faint of
no,
heart,
his hands
because
are
this
hairy.
cheese is infested with thousands of live maggots. And while that might seem a bit off-putting at first, it's the maggots that give the cheese its distinctive texture and flavor.
You will
Here's how it
eat
works.
the maggots.
First, a traditional wheel of pecorino cheese is made from sheep's milk. Then, a special fly called a cheese fly is allowed to lay its eggs in it.
In una quarantina di giorni la forma sarà completamente invasa dalla mosca casearia e dalle sue larve.
Over the course of 2 to 3 months, the maggots eat the cheese and then
YT player into
excrete it out
TV
again,
chat.
transforming it
I'm gonna
into the
take
soft
that,
and
keep
creamy
that in mind.
Kazumarzu.
Per il sapore piccante e il sapore diverso, gusto pastoso, glielo dà il lavoro che fa la mosca.
Today, it's a favorite for special occasions like weddings and birthday parties. But
Wait,
eating
bro,
this cheese
it's
can be
tasty.
dangerous.
Secondo qualcuno il verme continua a vivere all'interno. Non è così, se no saremmo pieni di vermi noi, perché ne mangiamo da una vita.
Real.
Even though
That's
cases like
terrifying,
this
it
are
is,
extremely
I
rare,
guess.
it's risky enough that the cheese is illegal to sell.
The rat
Farmers
would
like
eat this.
Simone
I would
continue
eat
to make it
this.
for themselves.
Sono pochi quelli che fanno ancora il formaggio marcio, però l'ho sempre conosciuto. Mio nonno l'ha conosciuto, i miei nonni, i miei zii.
And they just can't get enough.
Formaggio marcio, col prosciutto, una fettina di melone e la morte è sua.
It's to die for. True. Look at him squirm. It's extra protein. Ha ha ha. There's also, what's the other cheese? I think it's Stilton. Cheese mites. No, it's not Blue Stilton. I can't remember the name. Oh, there it is. Wait. Can we watch the Mario voice actor video? What's the Mario voice actor video? You can send it on our Discord server. It's on my description, so I can check it out. I searched for cheese and I got reincarnated as a heroine in a dating sim, but all the girls are falling for me. Volume 1 Isekai Harem. AI generated voice audiobook. Amazing. I will save this and torture people on Discord. And here we go. Suffer. Wisconsin cheeseheads. Is it Charles Martinet? Charles Martinet documentary. I will check that out on video game stream. Oop, forgot to do this.
So if you could please raise your cheese.
But it smells like ass. No,
After I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
To listen to my commander-in-chief's carol.
That time I get reincarnated as a giant wheel of cheese.
On an international level now,
Gets
with our guests coming in for tours, we're finding a high percentage of folks are from not only out of the state, but out of the country.
I want
as well.
the cheese cowboy hat.
For not just people from Wisconsin, but it's a Midwest thing, and it's a way to, for people to get attention in a positive way. And, it's always been a positive thing.
And it smelled and they scrape it off. It's tasty. When DRG? Actually,
I was in the process of reupholstering my mom's
I got
couch at
way
the time,
into the
so I
cheese
had,
stuff.
some spare
I will do
pieces of foam.
DRG
So with
next
that spare piece of
stream.
foam, I carved a wedge of cheese out, but then I also put different features of a lot of different cheese into it.
First thing that's coming out right now is foam, liquid foam.
The way they mix the foam product, but
oh,
when
it's
they mix
foam
it, it gets
cheese
so hot, and then you
hats.
just pour it in there, and
Ooh.
it just expands and stuff. That was pretty cool.
The pole
Oh,
one,
yeah, look at that.
but I'm the leader.
It's a masterpiece.
Democracy is a
It's
lie.
gonna feel a little bit more solid.
Let's go cut some cheese.
We win again, Cheese Bros.
So what kind of music does cheese listen to? Any idea? R&B.
R&B.
People associated the cheesehead with the Packers, and some people even call it the Packer cheesehead. But
When I got a platter, it smelled like smelly ass. No, don't say it like that. You and I are now enemies. No.
I'm a cheesehead. You don't have to live in Wisconsin to be a cheesehead. Because cheeseheads are, you know, Packers are called that. So I'm a cheesehead.
What's a
They
Packer?
wear a ball cap like they wear them.
Okay, it won't go down.
Don't want to mess up your pretty hair.
Packer is footballs. Ooh. Yeah, I want that cheese stab hitter. I need to know why cheeseheads is a thing. Apparently it was a slur. Food theory. What if Packer's cheesehead was actually made of cheese? Bruh. No, Elon wore a cheese hat. Gross, gross, gross. Cheese bed? Cheese crown? Anti-cheese bill? I like the idea of taking a big wheel of cheese and stabbing it on a device, heating it, and scraping the melted cheese off. Yep, it's the most amazing innovation ever.
You want to pick a fight in Wisconsin? Criticize cheese. In a state where cheese is part of the economic lifeblood, a doctor's group put up this billboard showing the Grim Reaper wearing a cheese head hat. Take a look. This is the original billboard. There was a change made. We'll get to that in a second here. But the aim, a warning that cheese with its fat, its cholesterol can be bad for you. But the billboard wound
Shut
up with the
up.
target of all kinds of critics.
Fake news.
Among them, Green Bay Packer fans who wear the cheese head as a proud team symbol. Not to mention a lawsuit threatened from the company that owns the cheese head trademark. Let's get straight to this dispute.
Yes, so can alcoholism, blatant lies, true. CNN and their lies.
President of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, which put up the billboard, and Green Bay Mayor Jim Schmidt. Dr. Barnard, we're going to begin with you here. I just want to hear in your own words, what was the point of the billboard? Why'd you put it up?
What do you mean my
Well,
lies?
many parents have no idea that cheese could actually be the reason
Right?
for their
You need
kids'
to
weight
eat
problems,
death
or
fat
for their own
levels
weight
of it
problems,
for
that
it to be
matter.
risky.
Cheese is 70% fat for typical cheese
And-
like cheddar cheese. It's also as high or higher in cholesterol, ounce per ounce, compared to steak, and very high in sodium.
CNN
Earlier this year,
stands
the
for
US
cheese,
government,
no,
through the
no,
Dietary
true.
Guidelines for Americans, said, if there's one thing that we're going to do to get healthier, we've got to cut back on saturated fat, and the number one source that they quoted or that they cited was dairy products, including cheese.
Huh?
So our goal here is to get
You
some
guys
attention.
were pushing cheese. The government was pushing cheese and milk on the people. Now you're taking it back?
Heavily trafficked by Packers fans, aka
Yes,
Cheeseheads.
anything can kill you. True.
Because
Just take it
people
on
haven't gotten the
moderation.
message
Yes.
so far, and it's essential that they do. Back in 1909,
Lies and
when the government
slander.
started tracking what people ate 3.8 pounds of cheese in a year, less than 4 pounds in a year. Today, we're at 34 pounds every person every year. And I'm
They
not eating
eat
any. Somebody
other
else is
junk.
getting mine.
Sugar is the
point
bad
being,
one, not
where are we putting
this.
that
Eat
30
uranium
extra pounds of
238.
cheese? It's one of the
Yum.
biggest reasons we believe
I
why
wonder if it
kids
tastes
are
like
heavy.
green
Let's get
apple.
the other side of things. Let's bring in Jim Schmidt, mayor of Green Bay. Mr. Mayor, your reaction to the
Wait,
billboard.
hold on.
Look, we love our cheeseheads. We love our cheese. It's a $26 billion industry
added to
here.
the
It employs
down vote.
thousands of people. And you know, there's a lot
Deep
of us
fried
that eat our
cheese.
cheese.
Mint?
I don't know,
Ew,
weigh 34
I hate
pounds,
mint.
But we're
I
also
hate
marathon
mint.
runners.
It's gross.
A very fit community. And, you know, we can support both. We can eat cheese in moderation.
Yeah.
Support a terrific industry and be very healthy as we are
Beast.
here in Green Bay.
So,
Oh,
though, you
via
have the people
Skype.
who say, look, First Amendment right, free speech.
What do you mean
it's
I
just
lies?
a billboard. You say,
Why is he picking on an industry? I
Mint
think
is
the
yummy?
doctor is really
Nuh-uh.
concerned about
Gross,
childhood
icky.
obesity and adult obesity as well. The goal is to get people moving, and I
Yeah.
think to take a slap at one of our largest industries and
True.
one of our trademarks, the cheese head, and put this up on 41, which is on the way to Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. I don't know. I think there's a lot better things that they could have done to really promote health and wellness in the United States.
Huh. I want to see the comments. Oh yeah, I forgot I have the plugin that blocks comments. Wink. Here we go. Screenshot that. Send it to him. I can't believe Strange Gareed 23 said that. Cheese is good if you're constantly working and using all those calories. For sedentary Americans, life without cheese is probably the best. Bruh. I eat lots of oatmeal to counteract that lots of cheese. I eat, not to mention, I do a lot of running, walking, and biking when I can. It's all about balance. Get off your ass. True, Donner Emil. Oatmeal is high in carbs, but it also is high on fiber, which is very important in our diet. We need to have 15 grams of fiber every day. Balance is good, yes. Fiber helps with trying to sweep up the excess fats and stuff in your body. I poop every day. Very good. That is very healthy. I am not paid by the big cheese. I'm not paid by the big cheese. Hooray! Yes. So, 15 grams of fiber every day. They're gonna jammy your bowels. They sweep for you. Okay. The final topic. Ugh, there's a guy diving in a cheese vat. But I don't want to watch that. We're going to watch James May. Beautiful. He's British, I know, but I really find most of my video game memes is just him saying cheese. I mean video game mods.
Hello viewers, we are back in the bug out bunker kitchen, still without any decoration on the wall. Haven't got around to that, haven't even put up this pinboard that we bought because I simply can't be bothered. But we do now have
my mouse is
extra
tripping out again, hold on.
Popular request, and you will see that later on in this short.
Wait, what happened? Oh no, my mouse freaked out. Hold on, chat. Stupid mouse freaked out, so... There we go. Is it gonna work? Cool. I can't believe Vicky's being paid by the big cheese. I'm not being paid by the big cheese.
So, in the 1970s, there were only three types.
Oh, you guys missed the funny.
Cheese versus cheese. So, in the 1970s, there were only three types of cheese available as far as I know. One of them was Cheddar, that's this one here. The other one was Red Leicester. The third one, which we're not featuring,
why are they mad against Red Leicester? Love that cheese. .mp3, yeah.
And it wasn't.
I thought she was being paid by the big rat.
Does broke away from the
all
block
of
that
the
had been cut from a
rules.
true wheel that I realised Parmesan didn't taste like a baby had vomited on your food. But anyway, we'll stick with the ones we had. These are cheese. They are not shade grown. They're not lime caught. They're not oak aged. They're not.
Isn't Declan the big rat? Is he the big rat?
Cheddar, Red Leicester. Which is best? Which is best in a sandwich? Well,
which is it?
we are going to make cheese and Branston pickle sandwiches using brown bread.
Oh.
And you will remember from the earlier sandwich videos that brown bread was the preserve
Check
of
the vid I
exotic,
uploaded it to desk. I will.
Sophisticated and rather left-wing people. And my mum, who actually liked brown bread, she specifically liked Hovis, which is what this
Hovis.
is. My mother also briefly had a 2CV. Can you imagine that?
What's a
in
2CV?
70s Britain, in the north.
My mum.
She sold it quite soon afterwards and got a Vauxhall. So, brown bread. We are going to make a grated cheddar and Brownster pickle sandwich and a grated red Leicester and Brownster pickle sandwich, and we will test them out on Tom the cameraman as usual, and possibly also Lucy. No, Lucy doesn't like cheese. We're not going to test them out on Lucy. She doesn't like cheese. So you'd have starved in the 70s. The other thing we're going to introduce today is
what else type of cheese?
Something that I discovered was actually created in 1901.
Which
Although
is
I don't think
it?
we actually got it in Britain, or I don't remember seeing it much before the early 90s, if that. It is.
It is.
Lurpak spreadable butter.
Ew. I hate Lurpak.
That. There you'll see behind Tom the mattress that is used for sound deadening when filming in the bunker. He's moved it into the bunker kitchen.
I like the way he says cheese. Me too, even if he's an Angloid.
That's Lucy.
How's it taste?
Is that it? Oh.
It reminds me more of the 1970s.
1970s.
Then I'm anticipating the cheddar, because I'm very used to cheddar.
Okay.
Oh, he's used to cheddar.
Thank you. Would you like to simply help yourself to a cheddar sandwich from
You know
Warren
what? That
Buffett?
shit clinging to the roof of his mouth. True, he's struggling.
Had a palate cleanser, really. It's better. I'm going to wager it's better.
Is it better?
Cheddar beats it.
Yep.
For me. See what you think.
Okay.
Ah.
Shall I eat the same? Sorry. Should I
Cheddar
eat the
is
same sandwich
better,
that
so
you were eating,
true.
or should I eat the other half? We are going to continue and eat these for real, aren't we? We don't waste things down here. We can't afford to. So we're going to have your sandwiches. And I'm going to go cheddar first.
Okay.
Just an
pickles
aside,
and cheddar.
one or two people did say to me, if you
I'm
make cheese
torturing
Branston
myself now. I want
sandwich,
to
you
buy
should put a piece of
pickles just for
lettuce in the
a
sandwich. To
sandwich.
which I say, bollocks. Agreed? Agreed.
This is the guy from that cheese edit? Yes, that's him. That's him. When fries made it to America, it was called potatoes served in French manner. They made it fancy.
When you're feeling nostalgic.
Oh yes, the pickle
You
juice.
could go and hire a rather shabby
Pickle juice
smoke
lemonade
belching
peak.
diesel bus and go on a sort of faux school trip to something like
Oh, speaking
Victoria
of,
and Albert
like,
Royal Air Force Museum. Or
Carnival
you
fair
could simply
food,
make
I
that
should
sandwich,
probably make
put
a
one bite
video
of it
of
in your
me
mouth, and
making
you are
elephant
there,
ears.
because you would have eaten that before the bus even set off.
Only when I need to
I am
gain
going to
weight,
clear my
actually.
palate.
I'm in my
Just have a small
losing
piece of this
stage
cheese
first.
to do that.
What do you mean sending you money? TF are elephant ears? Funnel cakes. They ate them with forks. Yeah, they gotta be fancy with eating their french fries. I actually eat my french fries with chopsticks. I don't want my fingers to be greasy and full of salt. Oh, funnel cakes. Yeah. Bro went red. Why is he turning red? I guess this cheese is too spicy for him. He's turning red!
I prefer cheddar as well, but maybe as the result of absence or some deep inner yearning that I hadn't identified before.
Yep. He
Red
doesn't
Leicester
have the
is
cheese
more
tongue.
evocative. I hope that's been useful.
He
Join
looks
us
in
again
pain.
next
He
time
does.
when
He
we
changed
make
color in
pies
pain.
of the 70s.
That's it. That's, yeah. Okay. The final cheese video, because hungry, actually. I'm actually planning on going outside and looking for cheese and pickles. I figured out that cheese great, just not what I ever expected. Hammond, you blithering idiot! You put cyanide in my cheese! Wait, who's Hammond? Why did he put cyanide on the cheese? Go get that cheese. I'm gonna get the cheese!
Here we go. So, cheese, 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 butter. Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Cheese, 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 cheese.
When you eat unripe mangoes with chili seasoning and salt, you will be salivating left and right and wanting more. Like with tahine.
Lurpak.
Or as Americans say, tajin.
Good man, cheese. Other graters are available.
Yeah, he's from Top Gear.
This is one of those.
He made a cheese review
Cheddar,
for sandwiches.
Here, cut from a true wheel. Red Leicester. The
Bottom
third
gear,
one,
I'm
the small blue
scared.
pot that smelled of sick. These are cheese. Not shade
For
grown,
condensed,
not lime core,
I
not
watch them, don't
oak-aged,
worry.
Not free trade.
I know
just
of them.
Cheese. 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 Butter. Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Cheese. 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 I hope that's been useful. Join us again next time when we make sarnies of the 70s. Cheese.
Okay, hold on. WTF? Yeah, he's the guy who says cheese on some of the mods. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna look at bottom gear.
Today on Bottom Gear, I drive a silent electric car, Hammond uses a fucking toilet, and James commits arson. Warning, Sean budget does not exceed 23 yen. Good evening, ladies and gents. Today our sponsors are MSC Colgate B450. Check them out. Promo code revving my wife to Noi. Today we'll be reviewing one of the Kin vehicle that has about
those type of
2.3
eggs are the
gigahertz revving engine
best.
sound. Goes up to the, I don't know, fucking 88mm for every time I find a proper job in this basically. Oh mate, we are going to the ass. Do you want anything? Oi love, you posh dickhead, have gone my back. Give me Siggy in it, she's told bloke draft a fuck along fish and chips.
I wish I could understand him.
You tiny man, where's the Lambo Chevy? Gonna crash into James' car, mate. Hammond, you sodding tech this with my Lamborghini. Call 999, me fucking car's being on fire, mate. Hammond, I have crack addiction, I'm dying. Jeremy, I have to run divorce papers today, I don't know what to do next. Please help me, I can't go have petroleum in my life. Tell me, I'll meet him gear. What happens when the taste exhaust fume? Okay, I'll have a whiff. Air noise. No, Jeremiah, car got bass for health. Shut
Oh, the teeth! The teeth!
Shut up, Gems. The spade is a lot, mate. Weed, car, feet, bottom. Oh my god.
This whole video embodies just looking at your best mate and you two just start laughing. True. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Whenever there's one video that ruined me when I saw about Top Gear and some guy used it for a meme edit. Oh lord. Is this clip unfortunate? I'm gonna blind people now.
Brown food. Brown drink. Calories. Oh.
Okay, now I'm more hungry.
I'm actually shaking, I'm so excited.
I'm not racist. Oh god. Wait, something popped up. Wait, no, it's so fast. Translator's note, shut up Hammond, is a phrase used to tell a nakama that they need to be silent, usually for the benefit of the entire group. But in some cases, because they are an utter fool, a blithering idiot, a Land Rover owner, or simply wrong all the time, they are the person who whinges and whines when things don't go their way instead of soldiering on like a true British patriot would. You can only feel so sorry for someone from Birmingham for so long before it just gets old. Really, he was quite the ingrate about the daring rescue we completed for him in the mountains of British Columbia. And the attention-seeking he begged for on set after the Avengers crash on Switzerland. Appallingly unprofessional. Why, if he were here right now, I would put my money down and he'd be one saying we need to cover lowly babas or heaven forbid feet. Ugh, disgusting, truly wretched. Wretched. How is he still alive? Holy crap. I always wonder that. Poor dude, he's too short to drive.
Well, he won't have the energy to drive up the hill. What? He won't have the energy to drive up the hill.
Here I am, car rested, ready and fully charged.
Breakfast, actual food.
Brown food. Yeah.
Shut up, Hammond. He did on that episode? I didn't get to finish this episode too. Pause quick, it's paused. Okay, I can only stand still for so long. I wish I could stop my tail from bobbing. Okay. English or Spanish? Inglés or español? Yeah, I'm trying to learn Spanish too. So I could do my Mexican streams. I see so many Elena from Street Fighter. Yes, there were. ¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? I don't know any other songs. Vibe check failed? No! I know the meme, I know the meme, but I forgot. Okay. I'm hungry for real this time. Wait. I need to do something real quick. Spanish only stream? You need taco playlist? I have my taco playlist. I just need to... I could do a Spanish lesson stream with... Oh no, I can't use my... what's it called? Duolingo account. People are gonna see my name on there. Duolingo, sponsor this rat. True! I wanna be a multi-language rat. I wanna speak multiple languages as a rat. Y'all mind if I squeaks a little Espanol? Yes, you can speak... Oh, squeak a little Espanol. My cousin. Oh my god! You can teach me how to squeak Spanish. The better Spanish, not the Castilla one, where they have the funny lisp. They only have this funny lisp because of the king having a lisp. That's very fun. It's very funny, I think. Hold on, I'm just grabbing the music I need to play. And bam. Better Spanish? Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it is better Spanish. I was learning Irish on Duolingo. Oh my god, that's so hard. Like, some of the words there, when I listen to like Irish or Scottish Gaelic, it's so hard to pronounce, even when... I guess it's more closer to the accent of British. I'm sorry, Scottish and Irish people, but it's sort of closer to it. Ever heard of the honey influencer scam? I have. I actually have. When they say, oh, you're gonna get discounts for free. We can scrape discounts and stuff for you for free. I just thought, nah, that's gonna be sus. There's something sus about it when I first heard of it back then. So I never got into using that app. Even when I was like really desperate for a You Choose plushie. Oh, what's that update on that honey shit? It's a scam. They scrape data off of you. That's how they get their money from it. They don't get any kickbacks from like promos and stuff. Instead of like people who have the promo codes getting the kickback. It's them, which is very insane. Yes, Markiplier did predict that. I remember seeing that clip. Anyway, guys, I am very hungry. I am a hungry rat and I want to buy pickles for my cheese sandwich. Oh yeah? No, it's just never really heard about it anymore for what happened after that video came. Yeah, it's getting silenced pretty quick. Thank you for stream. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys have a cheese-tastic day. A good time. Bye, Vicky. Thank you for stream. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. I ate burger. I want burger. I want tacos. I want burger. Play some games. I will play some games. I'm gonna play DRG next stream because I want to take a break from like the other games.
Need a medic bag.
Watch a video where Markiplier predicted it. I have watched it. Yes. Also, I need to recalibrate those throws. Anyway, goodbye. Oops, I forgot to do the thing. Wait.
Here we go. So.
Is that Sunday? Yes.
Cheese.
Can we raid people today?
Spread it
Let's
on
see.
the bread. Bollocks. Cheese.
We can raid
Cheese.
people.
Brand,
Yes,
brand.
let's hold on.
Lucy doesn't like cheese. So you to starve.
Let's go raid peoples.
Lurpak, spreadable butter.
Yes,
Line
it's
it up,
afternoon for the
and
rat.
It's on. Good man.
Raid, I said raid.
Other
Let's
graters
raid
are
people.
available. Rotary graters. This is one of those. One of them was Chedda. That's this one here. Cut
No,
from the
not
Red
that.
Leicester. The third one was a small
Reap?
blue
No.
pot that smelled of sick.
Oh, I have
These
someone
are
on my raid, by the way. I'm
not
sorry.
shade grown, not line caught, not oak aged, not free trade, just cheese. Cheese. Butter. Spread it on the bread.
Oh, I can't raid her. Aww.
Cheese.
Okay, let's raid Nick 3.
Cheese.
I can't raid her, so let's raid
Cheese.
your buddy.
I hope that's been useful. Join us again next time.
There we
when
go.
make Sarnies of the 70s.
No, I wish I could raid myself.
Cheese. Here we go. So, cheese.
Did it work?
Cheese. Butter. Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Cheese.
Did it work? The raid work?
Cheese.
No clue.
Cheese. Brown bread. Lucy doesn't like cheese. So you'd have starved in the 70s. Lurpak, spreadable butter. Line it up, and it's on. Good man, cheese. Other graters are available. Rotary graters. This is one of those. One of them was Chedda. That's this one here, cut from a true wheel. Red Leicester. The third one in a small blue pot that smelled of sick. These are cheese. Not shade grown, not line caught, not oak aged. James May.